Hey everyone, this is TJ, and you are listening to Beyond the Ring podcast. And this is the Monday night rematches review, or Raw review actually, because this ain't Raw. This is the rematches of the century. Because man, what is this show all about? I don't know, man. I am out of words actually. Don't even want to any complain about it as well, because there's no point. I've been complaining for months, and some of them are complaining for years, and it's still like that. And still, uh, I mean, what's the point in watching wrestling right now? Sometimes I think so. Should I quit wrestling actually? Because when I watch these like shows, I mean. I don't know, man. I'm a pro wrestling fan, but watching this kind of shows is so problematic, man. Very displeasure and very disturbed see this kind of, and very I'm not very sad. I'm not very sad on WWE. Then they are not doing it or something because of something or the other issue. That's not the case here. They are literally now lazy. They don't want it to do. They know that they would be giving anything, and we would be eating, because if we want to live through, we would be watching WWE, right? That's what they think. So that's what they do. Anyways, man, I'll be not taking off your very long time, because I ain't don't want to discuss this show as well. Again, this show actually started off with Lashley and MVP coming out together, because Goldberg was I was very kind of uh, thinking that this show would be good enough to watch through, because Goldberg is coming up after 2 weeks. So maybe after, I mean, last week was not good, and man, this became one of the awful episode. I haven't seen this awful episode in 2 months or so, I would say. At least in 1 month, I can say. This is the show kind of when April May was going on, at that kind of period. And and now the fans are back, and they're still the same. And just like I said, they're still the same, and they're still doing. And the crowds, I'm not just saying, crowds are even chanting, we want Bray Wyatt, tribute to Wyatt. We want CM Punk, because it was in Chicago, Illinois. And we also saw, we want refunds as well in the end of the show. The only thing I would say, I'm not over saying it or something, to say something good or something, but I would say, what's my honest opinion is that only thing that was good was the pretty good main event. I would say pretty decent or good. You can say if you want to, I would say, but yeah. You can say in one word, fine main event. And that was a fine, no holds barred, if you can say it. But as I said, Nikki Ash's character, I was liking it, very liking it. But now I don't know, I'm not able to believe her character so well. I don't know, because of the show being very bored. Maybe because of that, because I was very exhausted watching this show. Again, lots of talking about. We get into this review, man. Lashley and MVP came out to talk about Goldberg. MVP says Lashley is larger than life, a monster. MVP says if Lashley accepts Goldberg challenge, it could very well be the final match of his storied career. So he wants to ask Goldberg if he wants to be remembered as a champion or a casualty, because he says he would be destroying him. So finally, Goldberg comes out. Goldberg tells Lashley he should be worried about losing the title, because he says, and also says, that he's Goldberg, and he's the one and only. So just typical WWE-ish, or you can say it Goldberg promo as well. Nothing very interesting here. And but it was good. I mean, kind of a nice face off between first face off between Goldberg and Lashley, kind of having a promo, I would say, because last time Goldberg just said next, so this time he had some words, and he says he's a high level athlete, he's a gladiator, and Lashley wants him to look at him, but says Goldberg. Lashley still questions himself, he shows weakness, and he laughs upon, and you think you're up for the challenge, Goldberg says, because the first time Lashley saw him walking down the ramp, Lashley thought Goldberg was his victim. And the next, I don't even know what's the point here getting over Goldberg. I don't know, because there's no point. They're just having a big money matchup. They want to make money out of it. And they're releasing the excellent talents to give money to give money to these old guys. I mean it's good to have one-off matches on and all, but don't do it kind of into I mean I know that there's a opinion this opinion that this is the fourth biggest pay-per-view, one of the four bigger pay-per-views of the WWE. So they want to have a bigger star onto the, and they don't have built any guys to face Lashley. So anyways guys, I don't have any words to tell, because if I say this, then because if I say one thing, then it would be turning it around another opinion, because this is opinion thing. But in my opinion, I would say Goldberg Lashley, this is gonna be a 2 minute 5 minute match, I think so. That's it. And just to please fans, just to have that erupted reaction, I'm not very kind of excited. I'm more excited, I would say, Roman Reigns versus John Cena, which is also kind of same, if you see, because if you see, most probably this is just to get Roman Reigns over, and just maybe for facing Rock at next year WrestleMania. So again, I'm getting out of the road onto this review, because I'm so frustrated about this show. And he ends up with, he says he doesn't care if he's 105, he's Goldberg, and he lives by the spear, he's one and only. And his son Taz was also on the ringside. So Goldberg gives him some kind of a thumbs up, and MVP points his kid out. So I thought about that they would be kind of humiliating him, or we were seeing some angle where they actually have some brawl. But Lashley heads out of the ring to get in the kid's face, and he tells the kid that Lashley will end the kid's father's career. So Goldberg's career, this will be his last match. It's done. It doesn't say anything. He was just like very afraid. But and Goldberg observes this MVP and Lashley threatening his kid, and Goldberg come out and spears MVP. That was a pretty good thing that they did to close out the segment, and the crowd actually enjoyed it. I liked it, and crowd actually erupted into that, and I liked it as well. So a decent kind of opening, I would say, but I had still a thought that maybe this could be kind of maybe we could see his child getting humiliated or something in backstage, and then we get to the main event angle, where in the main event or in the closing angle of the show, where we see some kind of altercation between it. But no, we didn't see nothing. Anyways, we got into the first match, which was Drew McIntyre versus Veer and Shanky 2-on-1 handicap match. This was nothing to discuss about. I didn't like it a bit, and it was a DQ match where Drew was going for the Claymore, and he waits, but Shanky has a boot, and here comes Jinder with a chair, and that's a DQ. And they had a closing post-match segment where Jinder, Shanky, and Veer had a chair in their hand, and Drew was standing there, kind of a three-on-one situation. Drew had his sword at the ringside or something, and he actually brings the sword, and he just swung the actually sword onto the chair of holding by Jinder Mahal. And then Shanky was only left, because Veer is a kind of a afraid guy, and he doesn't do anything. Shanky could have left as well, but he was just looking like a nothing man, looking like a mad person. And then it was it, and drops the chair as Drew points his sword and looks to swing it, and Shanky leaves the crowd cheers, and that was it. Nothing I want to discuss here. And backstage we had Nia and Shayna, and they had this something segment, and because we've been gearing for the next match, which was Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. Out of nowhere, this had nothing story, and but I mean, I'm not saying that's why I was waiting for this match in kind of a pay-per-view or something. No, man, no. But because you would have thought about that no story match, I would have thought uh, that I want to have this match at pay per view. No, man, I would didn't want to have the match. But Nia Jax is a changed character because she is very angry right now because she turned on Reggie, and then she's completely, her hairstyle is very different. Again, this was also a powerful match. Nothing here, and Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. It was a bad chemistry. Nia Jax is sloppy in the ring. I am not a hater of her or something. Maybe I could have liked her matches in before when she was alone, but I don't. Yeah, when these things was not going, when she was not paired with Shayna Baszler, she was a little better in tag team matches, I would say. She's not a woman who could I watch in the main event, or who could watch a match or something in a singles match. Man, it was nothing. And in the end, we saw a lot of blood coming out. I thought about that. Rhea Ripley actually busted open. It was not. Nia Jax actually was busted open from the forehead, I think so. And she was looking very dangerous, man. I mean, I think that networks just maybe, I think so, maybe worried about this because they are already worried, because they are already very upset because of the firings and the releasing of the top talents from the WWE. And nothing, man. As I said, Rhea Ripley gets a victory, and post match we saw Shana and Shayna argue in the ring. Where we thought about that they are going to split up, but no. I think they should split it up because they have done their job as a tag team, and they have been the tag team champs, and they had done their job in the pandemic era, and that just it. They should go on their own way, and hopefully Shayna gets some singles opportunity, because ever since she actually came into the main roster, she's just like nothing. And Shayna leaves the ring, and Rhea rolls up because she didn't hit a riptide to get the victory, so she wanted to have a riptide on the Nia Jax, and she got it, and that's it. We get to the next match: Mustafa Ali and Mansoor versus T-Bar and Mace. Another nothing match. I'm not very interested, and I said that I'm interested in Ali and Mansoor story, but this is not a story where it's prominently shown or something. It doesn't have any intriguing stuff going on. Just they have the discussion, and then they actually had a tag team, just like they do from any other tag team, and that's it. Mustafa Ali and Mansoor actually had a match with T-Bar and Mace, and they just to fill the time. T-Bar and Mace actually got the victory, and they had just like before they had a pre-match promo as well, where they said that they would be getting the victory. I thought about that they would be end up getting another loss, but no. T-Bar and Mace got the victory here. T-Bar kicks Mansoor in the end. Ali tumbles off the corner actually, and Mansoor heads to the top. Kind of a miscommunication there, and Mace on the apron. T-Bar pulls his foot out. He lands on his back. And then T-Bar kicks him the chest. Big boot from T-Bar, and cover for 1, 2, 3, and that was it. And T-Bar and Mace got the victory. And we then saw backstage Nikki is running back and forth about running, and Charlotte Flair is here when we return, saying she woke up to a headline about Sam and Bills because she's out in the ring. She cuts a promo, just nothing there. She says that she 2 weeks ago Charlotte defeated Rhea, and next night Nikki cashed in Money in the Bank contract, stole the title. So typical thing that heels do, and she's the most decorated woman in the history of the business. She claims cashing in the contract is cowardly, and it is theft since the inception of the Money in the Bank. She has been cashed in on 3 times, so she asked for a one-on-one to show superiority out of all of us who are inspired by Nikki. And this is anything goes match. This is a no holds barred match. So I was expecting kind of a good match because no holds barred, kind of a fun to watch, hitting each other and all. But just that, and we get into the bad stuff again because we were getting into Alexa segment, I think so. Yeah, Alexa had the segment. At this time, I have no interest in the Alexa's playground segment because Bray Wyatt is out. There's no kind of fantasy kind of you can think about, like Wyatt would be involved or something. I am very very sure that they're gonna drop this title and Alexa Bliss is gonna turn into the Bliss character that she had. She is a way better, I would say. I had told that 1 month, or I would have told some weeks ago as well. I was interested in the storyline, but because that time Bray Wyatt wasn't released, and it was a different scenario as well. So I thought there was a rumor that Bray Wyatt is coming back, but Bray Wyatt is gone, and then I don't think so. This story is gonna continue, and just like that, and they had a short run, and they are gonna ruin it, and she's gonna go into the old gimmick or something. Maybe they would be continuing this for some months, and just there, I don't know, maybe Alexa Bliss could also be cut released. uh, at this point, I don't know what the WWE is thinking, because high level talents is the one who actually are getting paid, so we can expect high level talents to get released. So Alexa Bliss is one of the prominent talent, even though she's not the women's championship storyline, but still I think so. And they had a segment, Eva Marie, and actually had a segment, because they Nikki and so Alexa Bliss actually distracted Eva Marie in the match, and that was there. And Eva actually had the that doll, Lily, and she didn't like that, and she actually stomped on her, just like one of other did, who was that Shayna Baszler, I think so. And that Shayna Baszler storyline, that was so good at the beginning. That was prior to pay-per-view ads like Hell in a Cell, and they didn't even continue that. Think about that, man. This would have been a great match. I mean, just for a story, they could have done that. They just didn't. They just lost it, man. That's so much thing that's talk about. Again, we have another match, Tamina versus Piper Niven, and this was another nothing match where Tamina actually had some strikes, and Tamina gets the upper one, hits a takedown, Piper back up, back elbow, super kick, but Piper catches it and kicks Tamina with a kick, and crossbody, Tamina ducks it, and Samoan drop gets the victory for 1, 2, 3. So they have been getting the momentum going. I mean, they were having the momentum. So Tamina, I mean, a nice decision that she got the victory, because Doudrop, I mean, Piper Niven was nothing, and she's just being ruined. She was so better in NXT UK. I mean, I watched NXT UK each week. I feel bad for Piper Niven, because Drew dropped, and that was it. And we had a backstage segment where Priest runs into Riddle at his new scooter, and he's ready for Omos, because next match, this was announced last week, Riddle versus Omos. And Priest says he almost going to Lollapalooza, and Priest says he's worried about Miss TV, because Priest is gonna be on the Miss TV, because uh, some way or the other they want to fill time, and they want to do it again. And this was the time where they are getting to the rematches and the rematches and the rematches. This whole show was that. And I was thinking that maybe we could see some kind of segment again, or some kind of altercation between Lashley and Goldberg. But man, this single-handedly killed the show, man, killed the show. And Priest calls Sheamus, and they had a Sheamus was medically cleared to wrestle. He will give Sheamus credit. He showed up and fought, but like these two clowns, does anyone actually know what's wrong with Misney? So Priest actually mocks Miz because of faking the injury that he says, but Miz says, "I am not faking injury. I have the injury, and do you even know what you're saying?" So you know what I'm trying to say. That was the whole segment was played out, and that led to kind of a brawl kind of thing, where funny segment, Morrison has a tripstick, and he actually spray onto Miz quite a lot of times, just having a fun segment. And the end, Morrison tries to attack. Priest sends Morrison to the outside, then corners Miz and scores him the bunch of dripsticks, and that was it. And Damian Priest, John Morrison led to the match. And this match was getting continued where Morrison tries for a starship pain, but Priest actually escapes that and roll up from Morrison, but no standing moonsault, cover for 1-2, but no chop from Priest. And as they were getting attacked, kick from Morrison trying for a springboard. Priest catches him, slams him down face first, and this lifts him for a sit out choke slam for a pin for 1, 2, 3. Priest got the victory. He was being attacked, but Sheamus attacks from behind. Sheamus also come up. Sheamus and Morrison is attacking Priest. So the faces needs to be even. So we got Ricochet coming up, kind of a save, and Ricochet had a flip flop here and there. So kind of a good crowd reaction for that. Crowd was dead here. Dead means dead. I mean, literally dead. And they actually missed upon this. They had the worst thing that they did in the beginning of the show, where after the Goldberg segment, I think so, where they were announcing the first match, they had the John Cena's announcement, 16-time world champion by Michael Cole, being piped in into this Raw show, because the crowd was chanting CM Punk or something. They were not chanting anything. They were having nothing reaction, and they were this the waste of money for all the fans that they were. This show was nothing. There was nothing to see, like a very good or something. Oh, you'll see that. You say that face of segment Goldberg. I mean, I don't know, man. I have no words to say. This match led to the tag team match: Ricochet and Damon Priest, John Morrison and Sheamus, and this match was also nothing. And in the end we saw, I'm not getting this match because I didn't enjoy even the show. I'm just covering these shows because just wanted to review guys what all happened. And even though it's kind of 15 minutes or so into this review, I want to end it in 5 minutes or so. Let's see. And in the end we saw leg lariats and Sheamus to the ropes, Priest close climbing over the top, Ricochet with a moonsault to Sheamus, cradle from Morrison to Priest, but didn't get the victory. Priest with the reckoning and gets a victory. Damon Priest and Ricochet was victorious here. Lashley's backstage, but MVP is still hurting because of that spear that he got from Goldberg. Lashley says he will be take on Goldberg just so is. So I still thought about it at this point that they would be having some uh, kind of a some kind of a retribution or something. So Goldberg just he will Lashley say he will take on Goldberg just so his son can watch him and annihilate him. Almost his backstage says Riddle's scooter came first, Riddle's spine comes next, and this was Riddle versus almost. This was some kind of decent match, I would say. And yeah, almost still looks great, but not still looks very good. He's improving, but this match was just there. As I said, the whole mood of the show just got so way better. I'm very enjoying this show as well. So in the end of this match, this was very short. Almost hits the ropes and shoulder tackles Riddle, launching off the apron. This wasn't bad. I think so. Ref starts the count, and again Riddle gets in at 9. Shoulder to Amos. Again Riddle flips over Amos, hits a knee, hits the ropes. Kind of a comeback there. Another knee to Amos. Riddle ducks a clothesline. Springboard knee to Amos, but grabs Riddle by the arm, lifts him by the head, hits the tree slam. That was it. And almost the Raw Tag Team Championship. No, again this week Randy Orton was not there. I mean, I don't know why Randy Orton is not. Then we see the Alexa segment again. She wants to talk about the Jack the Ripper and the Zodiac Killer, but Piper attacks her. If she wasn't the friend, I don't know, man, what's the character is being portrayed for her. Sometimes she's a face, sometimes she's a heel. Kind of a tweener that she's acting. Sometimes she felt like she's gonna turn on Ava Marie. That's the one I want to see, but they are not just pulling it for some or the other reason, just for the sake of it, man. Just to have that crowd reaction, you could have done that. And yeah, I mean, this crowd was dead. You could have done something to just to fire up the crowd. Yeah. You change the scripts 100 or 200 times, and you could have done anything. But again, man, it's WWE. Cross waits in the ring as we get a square promo where he talks about a time being for Keith Lee, because another rematch coming, Keith Lee versus Quarian Cross. This is not NXT, man. I wasn't expecting great match or something. And he said like he signed in an hourglass. He shall fall and pray. And we get to this 8th match, which was Karrion Cross versus Keith Lee. I mean, okay match. I would say. This was the match where Keith Lee should have got the victory, but there was a point as well where Karrion Cross is NXT champion, so that would harm him as well. Nothing, man. We would, I mean, nothing wrong for Keith Lee getting the victory, but they completely ruined the situation, man. They would say that Jeff Hardy's situation got actually wrong about that. I mean, debuting it against Cross was mistake, and in the ending of the match, we saw Cross wants the side to suplex, but Lee stops it, hits an elbow to the head. So Cross with a forearm from behind, Lee out on his knees, Cross with a sleeper, Lee's fading, eyes still open, Lee with his fingers in between. He pulls back, and the Lee stands up. He breaks up the hold, arm drag to Cross. Cross hops up, Lee catches him, sit out power bomb, or the spirit bomb, you want to say. And crowd was really good, really behind him. And this match got a reaction. I would say Keith Lee was had a good reaction. He was a face, so Keith Lee still can still be pushed and still be over. He's not damaged, I would say, like Karrion Cross or something. But yeah, and it was uh, it was a decent enough match, I would say, but nothing to write home about. And backstage, Rhea is asked about SummerSlam. Rhea says her match with Nia was brutal, but nowhere near as brutal as a no holds match, which is being confirmed. She'll be watching the match tonight, and she hopes Nikki beats the hell out of Charlotte. The 24/7 champion is here, and Uh, I forgot his name actually. His name is not Reginald right now. His name is Reggie, and Reggie defends his 24/7 championship. So we are getting 24/7 championship match, 24/7 championship getting defended in the last half an hour of the Monday Night Raw. So this is we see that last 40 minutes or last 30 minutes is kind of a main event segment or the main event main show, kind of a main angle. Playing out, kind of having the way to end the fans to just get surprised. You're getting this kind of matches. Nothing, man. Reggie had that front flips onto the Akira, and that was it. Akira Tozawa was the one who was a victim, and nothing. We get to the main event, no holds barred match. Nikki Ash versus Charlotte. And as I slightly told about Nikki Ash's character, Nikki Ash's character, I was very liking when she actually had debuted, and even though she's not very good at promo, I felt believable sometimes. And but ever since she cashed in, that was a good moment, and not a very believable kind of moment where she had a crossbody on Charlotte, and yeah, and but. Okay, then Nikki Ash became the Raw Women's Championship. It was pretty early to pull it off, I would say. Yeah, and Nikki Ash is the champion. Then okay, then they didn't have. I mean, okay, they're continuing with the character. I don't have any wrong about that. But they are not building this character just like a credible championship. Because when you are a champion, you just can't be like I'm almost superhero. I can win, but I don't be winning always, because that's not what we expect, because from the champion, because this is the main championship of the women's division of the roster. So you should think about what you're doing, and she's representing the whole women's roster in Monday Night Raw. So I mean, I don't know. She's not pairing up against Charlotte. She's not very over like Charlotte, I would say. Charlotte is way over, I would say, as a heel character, and she's perfectly doing her heel character very well, and she's the best in doing that. Nikki Ash, she is good. She tells. I mean, it's a hit or a miss, I would say. But sometimes she feels like that, but this week I didn't thought about that. She was portrayed as a credible champion, and there was a rumor as well, and I had a gut feeling as well she would be losing the championship at the triple threat situation. Maybe she would be not getting the pin. That way the champion is not getting the pin, so she still have that kind of motivation and that character going on. So this getting into this match, this was a pretty fun match, I would say. Pretty good match, and fun to watch through. And Charlotte had the spear sneaking onto the timekeeper's area. That was good. And there's a table set up in the corner, adjacent to the ring. Nikki fights back with some rights on the top rope, and Charlotte moves through. Nikki falls face first. She's back up, and Charlotte hits a big boot. So back and forth action, a fast-paced action, I would say. Charlotte with a chop, kick from Nikki. Charlotte slaps Nikki, dropping her, lifting her. and running kick from Charlotte. Nikki standing near the table. Charlotte wants a spear. Nikki moves, and Charlotte. That was a very predictable match. Very, very predictable. When they had a last spot of the table, they were going to finish that, and that's what they were waiting. Charlotte wants a spear. Nikki moves out, and Charlotte splits a half in table with her head, and Charlotte sold it very well. And Nikki grabs Charlotte's head, drapes her over the second rope, spins with the neck breaker, and is this her finisher? She was kind of waiting for her the fans crowd's reaction, kind of when she actually had trapped onto her head on her legs onto the Charlotte's leg onto the ropes. Anyways, hit the neck breaker and got the victory here. Neck breaker, but yeah, I can say that she hit the table. Yeah, so I mean, a very decent meme, but man, this show was horrible. I mean, this was show was so hard to watch through. After watching show, I was feeling like maybe I should quit watching Monday Night Raw. I don't know, man. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, and it's very very bad right now. Bringing back the I mean the past superstars or something. It's not gonna work. This all booking. You should build your own talent. What you have. You're not building it, and they have so much of talents. If they booked it without laziness, they sure I would say that in 1 month you can have a very very better product. I would say just I would say it's a very hard to watch through 3 hour show, but still it could be into that good kind of as a good kind of show. I am very very sure about that. And that was it, man. I hope you like this review. Please make sure to have your thoughts on this week's Raw, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, be safe, stay energetic.